Ah, salut à toi, viewer ou vieweuse de YouTube qui t'es perdu dans les méandres d'Internet. Bienvenue. Tu... Ça tombe bien que tu arrives maintenant, vous venez de commencer. Et on allait se lancer dans la découverte de Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable, c'est quoi comme jeu? C'est un jeu où on joue un mec dans un open space. Voilà. C'est à peu près tout. Mais ça va être bien. Vous êtes en train de jouer à Stanley Parable. Alors, vous allez voir, c'est très très méta, d'après ce que j'ai compris. Ça commence, c'est écrit là, on a l'écran, on joue à Stanley Parable. Et en même temps, alors je le montre avec ma souris, parce que je peux pas le montrer avec mon doigt, vous le voyez pas. J'ai envie de faire de la merde. On est sur un écran qui joue à Stanley Parable, qui est lui-même sur un écran qui joue à Stanley Parable. Vous avez compris? Ça va être incroyable. Allez, let's go. Juste la suite. Pour ceux qui avaient suivi, ça ressemble un peu à Superliminal. C'est un incroyable. Bon, j'ai pas fini de mettre les VOD sur YouTube. Mais elles sont prêtes. Hein. C'est long, ça charge. Hein. Allô? Allô? Pas bugué? Ah non. Et non. S'il a du mal avec Stanley Parable, qu'est-ce qu'il va être avec Elden Ring demain? Ah mais ça va être incroyable. Ah oui, YouTube, c'est mis Elden Ring, ça va dire.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was
Je vais
simple.
monter un peu le son.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of
Ça c'est nous.
every year.
On est
And
Stanley.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Ah mais ça c'est c'est le monde
Something
du
that
travail.
would forever change
C'est
Stanley.
exactement comme ça.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in
Hi.
all his years at the company had this happened.
Alors c'est un jeu où ça parle beaucoup.
Isolation. Something was very clear.
Et c'est en anglais. Mais le narrateur est très bien.
Frozen solid, Stanley found himself
C'est une
unable
petite
to
voix,
move for the
je trouve
longest
que ça
time.
détend.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Voilà le chat qui débarque. Bonjour. Bonjour. Je vous la présente. Coucou. Voilà, elle pousse le micro. Formidable. Bon, on y va? On joue? Ah oui, ça a commencé. Hein. Non, ne bois pas dans mon verre. Allez, let's go. C'est pas en ZQSD, au secours. Option, ça convient. Modifier les touches. On avance. Avancer. Reculer. Ah voilà. Reculer. On strafe à gauche. On strafe à droite. Nous F5, voilà. C'est bon. Ça fait 5 minutes que ça a commencé et j'ai pas joué au jeu. Allez, let's go. C'est bon, ça marche. C'est parti. Donc voilà, on est Stanley, on est dans notre petit bureau. Il se passe des trucs. Employé la fonction publique. Je baisse un peu la sauce. C'est parti. C'est sensible. Hein. Ça va ça va vous? Je vais bouger mon truc. Je vais fermer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Mais il y a personne.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Quelle heure il est?
the memo.
Il est déjà
No matter how
15h30.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
La
of
CAF
his
ici, en fait.
co-workers.
Plip, plou, plou. Ah, meilleur bureau. Et toi, tu vas te mettre là, tu vas tailler des crayons. Ah, je peux... je peux sauter? Non. Je ne peux pas sauter. D'accord. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire d'autre? Je peux m'accroupir? Non, rien du tout. Hein. Je peux juste avancer et cliquer sur des trucs. Ah.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Alors la particularité, voilà, c'est que le jeu, le narrateur va réagir en fonction de ce qu'on va faire. Le déplacement est très, très étrange. Toujours personne. Bip. C'est moi qui l'ai éteint. J'ai pas de bras, c'est difficile à suivre. Ça va, c'est fluide chez vous? Tout fermé. Hein. Ah. Je peux encore monter sur. Quoi? J'appuie sur le truc? Pas sauter. Je clique absolument partout. Hein. Sachez-le. Mais attendez, j'ai vraiment l'impression que... Ah voilà. On va... Ouais. Ouais, j'ai l'impression qu'il patine moins. Philippe Candeloro. Hop là. Ouh, Holiday on Ice. Oui. Allez, hop.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sur la gauche? Ça veut dire que je suis obligé de prendre celle sur la gauche? Si on disait que... j'allais à droite. Je vais faire quoi? Hop.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ah oui, c'est vrai que j'ai une quête. Je suis censé faire chercher mes collègues. Ah mais c'est tout fermé. C'est gigantesque chez vous. Y'a quelqu'un? Allô? Ah c'est vrai qu'elle est incroyable cette meeting.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Passons un peu de
It
temps
had
pour
really
l'admirer.
been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
On va avoir une petite boisson? Non, rien. Avançons.
Yes, really
je
worth
baisse
it
un peu la
being here in the
sensibilité.
room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit.
Apparemment, je me fais bâcher par là.
Really
Par le narrateur.
worth it.
T'es pas content que je reste là? Ah, ton histoire a pas avancé hein, si je reste là. Allez. Hop.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Vous croyez que je peux encore le troller? Hop là. Et voilà. Non mais... Qu'est-ce que... Pas du tout la salle de réunion. Voyons.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Mais attendez, il y a... Est-ce que j'ai vraiment envie de faire ce qu'il dit? Non. Chouette. Allez, salut. Bisous, je m'envole. Ah. Du coup, j'ai débloqué un truc. Let's go.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's,
Il est en train de lire des notes. Il y a rien d'autre ouvert? Non. Voilà, mais je me balance dans tous les murs. Et je me balance... Et...
Oh no, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Mais... je me fais troller. C'est scandaleux. Quoi? Mais... Je sais plus où je suis, et ce narrateur me dit de la merde.
It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Mais attendez, c'est une pièce verte. Je suis pas censé retourner bosser.
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Vous êtes sûr que c'est par là? Vous avez vraiment l'impression que c'est un endroit pour aller à sa salle de repos? Bonjour. Quelqu'un a laissé les phares allumés. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Attendez, comment ils ont fait rentrer ça? Comment ils ont réussi à exercer ici? Y'a pas de toit? Et d'ailleurs je suis au sous-sol, non? Ah, je dois descendre encore plus? Ah, allez-y. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Quoi? Et c'est mes... Vous croyez que c'est mes numéros de...
No, this isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Je me suis fait spoiler?
Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
Quoi?
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Comment ça?
This time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Non mais... Attendez, c'est foutu de moi.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Voilà, tu peux rêver que je me présenterai pas là-dedans. Je vais retourner... Non, mais là... Qu'est-ce que... Incroyable. On se croirait chez le dentiste. Vous savez, ils ont toujours des espèces de photos qui veulent rien dire. Hop là. Quoi?
Stanley... Wait, what?
Mais...
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que c'est...
Change. Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Yeah, mais j'ai touché à rien. Pourquoi il y a toutes ces portes?
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
C'est quoi?
Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Quoi? Et je dois trouver le propre jeu maintenant? Attendez, c'est l'entrée. On va en trouver des trucs. C'est un labyrinthe. Voilà, mais... Quoi? Attendez. Non. J'ai déjà perdu. Au secours. Attendez. Oui. Très jolie fenêtre.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on.
Mais tu m'étonnes.
There definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Je comprends rien. Quoi? Mais... Mais il veut pas me laisser jouer? C'est bon, on peut jouer au jeu maintenant? Pliplou, pliplou.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oui, ça on sait.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Attendez, je peux pas... Pas sauter. Moi je vais aller là. Bon, on connaît, hein. C'est par là. Hop, hop. C'est par là. C'est une plaisanterie.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Qu'est-ce que c'est que c'est... Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce... Quoi? Bon, demi-coup. Qu'est-ce que j'aurais oublié? J'ai oublié des trucs. Faut que j'ouvre des portes. Faut que j'aille jusqu'où? Qu'est-ce que ça rend fou.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
Quoi?
Here it comes.
Qu'est-ce que...
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ce...
Steps.
Mais c'est le pire narrateur du monde. Quoi? Ah bah elle est pas finie celle-là.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Me souvenir de quoi? On n'a pas eu le temps de faire le jeu, ça a fait n'importe quoi dès le début. C'est parce que j'ai pas voulu prendre la porte à gauche. Quoi?
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh no, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win
Mais
fair
ce jeu
and
me
square,
troll,
and
ce jeu
this
me
was
troll
not
en
one
beaucoup.
of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Ah. Est-ce que tu peux arrêter de redémarrer mon jeu s'il te plaît? J'ai un stream à faire moi.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help
Il
of
se
the
fout de ma
Stanley
gueule.
Parable adventure line. Just
pas-
follow the line. How simple is that?
Avec des trademarks partout, putain. Mais j'ai toujours pas envie de suivre ta ligne. C'est scandaleux. Ah. Ah. Elle est censée pas... C'était pas ouvert ça avant. C'est par là. On suit la ligne. J'ai envie de suivre la ligne. Oui, ça bosse dur même. Hein. Si, attendez. Mais... Stanley, tu es fait en quoi? Oh, pourquoi tu peux pas passer? Pourquoi tu peux pas pousser cette chaise? C'est les pires bureaux du monde. Y a rien qui...
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
La ligne trademark.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we
C'est hyper
implying
méta
a
comme
journey
jeu. Hein.
such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation
Oula,
of
tu
the
vas trop loin.
nature of life
Calme-toi,
itself?
Michel.
Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct
je suis
of
revenu
one's
au début.
subjective experience of that
Ah oui, ça tourne en
existence, right?
Ah non, je suis en...
Now, if
Attends.
my experience of your
Mais qu'est-ce que tu racontes? J'écoute pas ce qu'il dit.
Vous
Vous avez suivi le chat? Je comprends pas.
Is this office in fact the skeleton of my own
Et cette ligne qui commence à faire de la merde.
mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette ligne
I
pourrie?
think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de faire? Elle est incroyable cette musique. Putain, c'est épique. Les gens qui débarquent ici en plein milieu, ils vont se dire non mais je quitte, je m'en vais tout de suite. Ça veut rien dire. Comment je suis la ligne? Hop, 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 hop. C'est épique de ouf. Je propose qu'on reste ici toute la vie. Est-ce qu'il y a une BO à ce jeu? Si oui, je... Attendez, mais comment il est fait ce bâtiment? Oh, ouais, on lui... Quoi? Voilà, cette ligne qui veut rien dire, j'en peux plus. Allez, on suit la ligne. Ta-ta.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
C'est une fougère. Je vais pas me rappeler d'une fougère. Si. Faut faire une capture d'écran. Le chat. Est-ce que vous pouvez mémoriser cette plante, s'il vous plaît? Merci au chat. Allez, c'est reparti.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Est-ce que... Je repars. Quoi? Attendez, non, c'est de là que je viens. Par où il faut que je tourne? Par là? Ah, tout de suite sans la musique. Ah non, on est reparti au... Oh, putain, on est reparti au début. Blague. On va partir par là. Sans la musique, ça fait un peu tristoun, hein.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Allez, c'est reparti. Allez, encore la ligne. Génial.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
J'ai peur d'une porte qui se ferme à 2 à l'heure, c'est scandaleux. Vous imaginez ce que ça donne sur Alien le vendredi?
Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ah ouais, on part à l'aventure. Ouh.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new
Cette espèce
story.
de jeu qui fait n'importe quoi avec un narrateur dissident qui change à peu près ce qu'il veut au fur et à mesure qu'il raconte. Ça me fait penser à... Oh, There is no game. Ah, There is no game, hein, si vous connaissez pas. Jeu français. C'est surprenant que ça puisse paraître. Quoi? Je tourne en rond. Oui. Oui, je tourne en rond. Au secours. Donc There is no game, un jeu français qui repose sur le concept de on arrive dans un jeu auquel il faut pas jouer et le narrateur fait absolument tout pour nous empêcher. Excellent jeu. Ah. Quoi? Attendez. Et j'ai mal à la tête. C'est... Ça s'emmerde un peu. Ah.
Stanley,
Oh, regarde, elle a tout cassé.
The line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
Même le lui est en trademark. Oui, blablabla. Elle est complètement bourrée. Ah bah elle repart. Bisous. Oh.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere. Which
Allez, je
means
fais ce qu'il fait.
somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our
Vous amusez bien.
corresponds with the
Moi ça m'éclate, hein. J'adore ce genre de jeux qui veulent rien dire.
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Quoi? J'ai
Another
pas
victory
suivi.
for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
De chevaux, je peux pas prendre la gauche. Quoi?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
Ah,
You're telling
c'est
me
tout le...
that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight?
C'est incroyable. Tout ça...
Really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be.
Oh,
I don't
le
want
narrateur
the
il est
game to keep
fâché.
restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Ah.
The, whatever it is.
Ah bah
that
les
made
deux
this
portes mènent au
schedule.
même endroit, formidable.
How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Je suis censé faire quoi? C'est quoi le jeu?
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of
Je vais
story.
m'asseoir là.
Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well,
Surtout
in the
qu'on est coincé.
meantime, if you happen to have a
Quoi? Et voilà, ce jeu est tout cassé, vraiment. Ah. C'est reparti.
all of his co-workers were gone.
Quoi?
What could it mean?
C'est comme si de rien
Stanley
n'était.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah oui, on reprend, ça y est. On reprend comme si c'était jamais rien passé.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Je vais faire ce qu'il dit. Il n'y a vraiment personne. Hein.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alors, qu'est-ce que ça fait? Ah, ça c'est pour les happiness managers, ça. Tout le monde est unique, surtout vous. Nombre de pages sur cette page. Voilà, ça, c'est le bullshit marketing à son paroxysme. Ah!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and
Non.
got back on track.
Si je reste là, tu vas faire quoi? Regarde, hop.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. just an empty broom
Il
closet.
est pas complètement vide, il y a des
Reason
trucs.
to still be here.
Vous voyez, je peux le rendre faux. Il est resté là. Je clique partout.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Mais combien de lignes de dialogue ils sont
Something to
enregistrées?
interact with, he'd be justified in some
Enfin, de
way.
dialogue.
As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Bon allez, j'ai dit que je suivais ce qu'il racontait. Du coup, c'était par là. Faut que j'aille où?
To a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Allez, on fait ce qu'il dit. Donc je monte. Hop. Ok. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cet étage du patron? C'est... Je répète. Bonjour. Et genre personne. Bonjour. Ah. Bonjour. Le patron est pas là.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of
Il vient de me
course,
donner le code.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ah oui. Allez, pinard. Hop. Je prends du Chianti. Tu vas appeler?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
On peut faire ça
Trying to
aussi.
input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was
Je
28.
me fais backseat par le narrateur, c'est dingue. 1, 2, 3. Bip, bloop.
2845.
1, 4, 7, 0.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked
Quoi?
and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Le jeu qui en a plein le cul et qui me fait avancer quand même. C'est le backseat ultime. Où est-ce qu'on est? Ah. Ploup. Si on fait un dessin, on descend. Petite musique d'ascenseur. Je sais que vous l'aimez cette musique. Enfin, si ça veut bien charger un jour.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Petite musique.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to
Attendez, je vous laisse la narration.
question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would
voilà,
not
on est
go
arrivé.
unanswered for long.
Ah. Bah génial.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Centre de
Facility.
contrôle mental. Sorti. Non mais on suit ce qu'il fait. Je pense que c'est des... c'est le genre de jeu que vous en faites 250 000 fois. Hop, hip, hop, la, plou. Ah, il y a un bouton lumière. C'est pratique. J'ai les mêmes interrupteurs chez moi. Ouais.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
L'histoire elle tient sur un timbre de poste,
To
putain.
find out.
Ah, ouais mais on le sait déjà. On s'est fait spoiler. Ah, c'est grand. Ah, on active les caméras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally
Ah, cette critique de la société.
freedom meant nothing.
vraiment dans une saucisse. Comme le dirait si bien Fabien Roussel.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
N'oubliez pas d'aller voter, hein, le 10.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Il y a des gens qui
accept
ont été
it.
virés quand
His
même.
own life
Et ils sont où
in
les
someone else's
autres?
control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
C'est pas exactement ce que
Had he
t'es en train de nous
truly
faire.
spent his entire life utterly
Voilà,
blind
c'est
to
la,
the world?
c'est la fin de Portal.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Bleu,
For
rouge,
he
bleu, bleu.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Et je fais ça comment? Désactiver. C'est fermé. Il y a un bouton rouge géant. Ça, j'y vais pas. Ça, c'est le meilleur moyen de mourir. Ah! La power. On va désactiver. Ça va être cool hein, en VR.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Ouf. Ouais, on a réussi, on a fini le jeu. C'était vraiment incroyable.
Blackness and a rising chill
C'est
of
quoi, c'est fini, ça y est?
uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He
Ouais.
had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que... Bah écoute-nous YouTube, ça fait 30 minutes qu'on joue, on a fini le jeu, c'était incroyable.
On how many puzzles
Allez, à demain.
still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or
Oh, regardez, on va se
that
retrouver
he had
dehors.
been seeking.
Avec la nature et les petits oiseaux.
Perhaps his goal had not been to
Ah,
understand,
vous savez, hein, après manger.
but to let go.
Les streams d'après manger,
No longer would anyone tell him
je
where to
baille.
go,
Comme ça.
what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be,
À cause de la digestion.
and that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Alors c'est
Stanley
paradoxal
stepped
parce que
through the open door.
on a réussi à être libéré du contrôle parce qu'on a suivi absolument toutes les instructions. Et voilà.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ce qui est exactement le concept du début du jeu, c'est-à-dire... Ah, on a débloqué un achievement. Qu'il doit faire exactement ce qu'il est censé faire, être là où il est censé être. Ah! Et du coup, on reprend tout de suite. Et c'est là où on fait ce qu'on veut. Attends.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
The end is never. Ah! Vous voyez? En fait, ça ne s'arrête jamais. Hop! On va pouvoir tester de nouveaux trucs. Alors, déjà, je vais éteindre tous les ordi. Quoi? Input restrive. Quoi? Hé! Pourquoi t'as fermé la porte? Pas très gentil. Donc c'est moi qui l'ai fermé? Ah oui. Ah oui, je peux fermer, ouvrir les portes, d'accord. Première nouvelle.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Non.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
voilà
knew
mon
it
chat.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Je suis pas ton tremplin, le chat. Oh. Ils sont intéressants. C'est sa chaîne aussi. Hein. Moi, je co-stream, c'est tout. Hop là.
Wow. Yes. This room.
Ah, le fameux salon.
Beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Non. Je fais plus que tu me demandes. Regarde, hop là, me casse. Je vais là.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Ça y est, on commence à énerver le narrateur. Incroyable. Alors. Yep. Par là? Non. Voilà, mais c'est dangereux. C'est 1000 balles de pénalité.
Look, Stanley,
Ah, ça
I
bouge.
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration?
Ouais, let's go.
That convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Non. C'est fini maintenant, je fais ce que je veux. Ce que je veux, je vais au jeu. Oui. Et bonsoir à celles et ceux qui nous ont rejoints. Si vous comprenez rien au jeu, c'est
Now
normal.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Non.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Non.
I still don't think we're communicating. Stanley walked through the red door.
C'est celle-là.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Voilà, il y a tellement de trucs différents.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put much time into that?
Pas commode, le gars.
I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want?
Mais pourquoi je me fais gronder? C'est mon jeu quand même, je l'ai payé. Il est à moi.
You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oui. Ah.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this revelation.
Je vais le
Would you
troller.
say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real...
Mais c'est infini les choix si à chaque fois ils changent. Je vais le troller.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. Un leaderboard. Oh cool. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Vous croyez que c'est un vrai leaderboard? Je suis 9328. Pourquoi pas demander à des amis de t'aider? Désolé, ta liste d'amis est vide. Tant pis, je continue à promener par là.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Je vais mettre un 3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Allez,
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
ouais, on va changer de jeu.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to lead him back.
Alors, t'es mal tombé parce que je hais les enfants.
You fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really
C'est pas très bien fait, hein.
But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Allez.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Allez, on joue pendant 4 heures, ça va être génial. Ah, quelle angoisse, non. On va le laisser brûler. Allez, bisous bébé. Bleh.
Heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Les deux.
Because if it's the latter,
Clairement les
I don't
deux.
know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Ah, encore un nouveau jeu, trop cool. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette merde? Pourquoi je joue à Minecraft?
A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say
Je
this.
peux pas sauter.
I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then...
Il fait une maison.
See, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed.
Elle est dégueulasse ta maison.
Inadequacy.
Qu'est-ce que c'est
But
cette
you've
merde?
only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make
De
yourself
toute façon, je peux pas sauter. Je peux pas ramasser les trucs, je peux pas casser. C'est le pire jeu Minecraft du monde.
Isn't it grand? It could only be better.
Ah, il fait un peu d'ASMR dans les oreilles en
We
plus.
must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Allez, on joue. Un petit peu de musique. Vous savez que je n'ai jamais joué à Minecraft, je n'ai jamais touché à Minecraft de ma vie.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Non. Non, il fallait. Est-ce que je peux te rendre? Non. Oui, non, mais c'est très profond.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all, 1 out of 5.
Je crois qu'il est un peu mauvaise, je ne saurais pas dire pourquoi.
Okay, new game.
Et mais moi je voulais jouer à Minecraft. Et si je si je faisais une découverte de Minecraft un jour 25 ans après tout le monde. Ah bah, moi j'ai des plans de carrière, je peux dire. Ça rigole pas. Ah, je reconnais cette...
Yes, I don't even know what this is.
Oui. Ah, on joue à Portal, ça veut rien dire, putain c'est incroyable.
Listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it.
Oh oui, on peut même déplacer là. Ah là là.
Even supposed to be. I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm
Ah non, j'ai cassé.
Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Les toilettes sont dégueulasses. Ah. Bah, il manquait une... Ah oui. Mais c'est incroyable, ils ont refait le jeu.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. You're
j'ai dosé les portals et pas qu'une fois.
genius.
Ah, incroyable, portal.
No, actually, you know what?
Mais je me fais troller.
To see you stumble through any more of these games. And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think
Bah, dis
I'll
donc, t'es pas
just
très
go
gentil.
about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Qu'est-ce que... Cette violence, mais il me déteste. Attendez, regardez, hop là. Oui. Voilà. Ah oui, c'est... Ah. Attendez, je vais... Ah non. Je vais tomber pour... À jamais. Voilà, mais on voit rien. Ah non, j'ai peur que ça fasse peur. Si c'était un jeu d'horreur. Je sais pas où je vais. Difficile de s'y retrouver, hein. Bon, allez, on va passer par là. 423. Ah, la lumière, parfait. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Rentrer? Non. Je n'ose pas imaginer le nombre d'easter eggs ou de trucs qu'ils ont pu mettre pour se faire kiffer. Ah. Et c'est tout? Attendez. C'est loin? Attendez. Je vous en prie.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's got it. Down in
Je me suis
wherever he
fait
is
taunt
right now.
par,
I wonder
par
if
le
he's happy
narrateur.
with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Mal au cou.
I can wait.
Ok, et ça repart. Bah écoutez YouTube, je pense qu'on va se laisser là pour ce soir. On se fait des bisous, à la prochaine.